welcome. Today I have a little bit of a different kind of piece, and I took a couple of well-loved playing cards. I have a whole stash of old ones, and I decided I've seen some great things, and I wanted to have a go at it. So I start by taking my little block, sanding block there. It's just really a nail file, and just kind of go over to kind of rough up the top, age them a little more. And then I'm taking a metal ruler and I'm going to cut out the center portion. And to do that, I'm going to get my smaller cutting mat and just an X-Acto knife and just cut around and cut out that center. I won't make you watch the whole thing, but you get the idea. Sometimes I have to go around it a couple times to get it to come out good. So I've got it cut out, and so that's going to be the top, kind of going to act as a frame, a second layer. And I'm using some of that vintage looking washi, and that's my starting point to collage the bottom. And then I'm using some music paper from an old songbook. And this is just from an old book that has a bunch of numbers and columns, but you use what you have. I also have some old recipe books, so I'm going to grab a little bit from an old recipe book. I'm intentionally not totally covering the card numbers, and I mean down below I'd cover the diamond, and that's okay. And that last piece is just a punch of another washi tape. This is going to a friend, and so I'm kind of gearing it to things that I think she'll like. So she likes flowers, she sings very well, and so I'm just kind of picking things that might go with her, what she likes. The flowers actually were just, I have a real old, humongous dictionary, and it has a lot of pictures, small size pictures in the dictionary, and I use that a lot. So I'm giving the bottom side a coat of Liquitex matte medium, just to kind of seal it, because I'm going to be putting other stuff on top of it. And the frame portion, the top layer, I'm going to put on some texture paste. This is just regular opaque texture paste, and it will stay white. So I will, as soon as I get it on, I will be putting on some distress glaze. So lifting it up carefully so you don't disturb the texture paste is kind of important if you want it to look clean. So the paper is just to catch my excess distress glaze. This is salvaged patina, and I just do Tim's tapping method to kind of move the particles around and dump the rest back into the jar. I've got to wait for that to dry. If I dry it too soon, it'll bubble, and it's very humid here in Florida, so I have to wait a little while. And I'm kind of trying to, I don't want to cover up all the collage, but I want to kind of to recede a little bit. So I'm just putting on some white gesso, but then I'm wiping off a lot of it because I still want to see behind there, but I just kind of wanted to take it back a notch. And then I'm using the same stencil and the same color of ink. So this is salvaged patina, and I'm just kind of putting it on over the collage papers. And since it had, the whole card has been covered with the matte medium, I could do the whole card. I could go over the twos because it's kind of prepped the surface. And I have this stamp here, and it's like, it says top 10 smile ever, best smile ever. I can't remember exactly what it says. And so I'm stamping that on with my StazOn black, and it just did not look good to me. And I didn't want to start completely over, so I thought, well, what if I just did something to kind of cover it up? So I have a bunch, always have a bunch of flowers and shapes in my stash ready to do something with. So I took out this flower and I gave it a base layer of old paper. And now I'm going over that with spiced marigold, I believe that is, with the stencil. It's a Tim Holtz stencil. And give it a lot of color. And I have a little punch. It's just punched from a scrap. And the scrap was stamped with a ticket booth stamp. And then I punched it out with a little, kind of looks like a little flower. And I use it quite often for the center of flowers, because it just is perfect. So I just place it in there with some liquid glue, and then I'm going to add it to the center of that stamp, and it kind of just looks like a little frame behind it. going to give it a couple stamps. And then using vintage photo, I just kind of buff the edges. Okay, so I'm hoping this is dry. If I get a couple bubbles, I'm okay with that. And I think I did get one, but I think I try to push it down a little bit here, but it's hard and solid. Yeah, right there. That's had a little bit of a bubble, but that's okay. Kind of adds more character. And that little ticket, I don't know, it was just from a ephemera pack I've had for a long time, and so I'm just pulling it out to use it. And also the butterfly is just from an old ephemera pack. I'm not sure if they were Tim Holtz. If they were, they're from ages ago, so I don't know where exactly or what exactly I would tell you, because they probably are retired from whoever made them. So I'm going to go around should have done it before I glued that on, but now I'm going to go around the top layer. It's really hard. I should have grabbed one of my small mini blending tools to go inside. And that's the 2 layers. And the only thing left I'm going to do is to punch a couple holes. And I'm going to do that with my roto tool. Which I've had for many years, and it's just not that sharp anymore. So I usually have to kind of give it a little bit of help. And then I line it back up so that I get the hole punch in the same spot. And again, I probably have to work that little punch out. And I'm going to use one of those bulb safety pins to hold them together. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have not subscribed, please do give me a thumbs up. And here in a second will be the final pictures. I just hope you all have a great day.